Hi everybody, this is Dr. Havner. Chapter 8 presents the concept of outlining what you read and creating an outline for what you write. These are skills you're going to use throughout college. If you think about a psychology class and reading a really difficult psychology textbook and having to retain and understand that information for a test, that might sound intimidating, but if you have really good outlining skills, you should be able to figure out the most important concepts in the chapter, and then from there you should be able to create notes and create pages that you can use to study for a test. So outlining will really help you as a reader, but it will also help you as a writer. You've probably created outlines in the past for things that you're going to write. You'll find that your outlines are never entirely perfect. You're going to always have to go back and amend your outline, because when you get into the drafting process, you'll realize you need to include things that are perhaps not on your outline, or the things that are on your outline are not entirely what you want to say. But that's okay. An outline gives you a roadmap. It gives you kind of a guide that you can use, and you have to be flexible enough to be cool with changing that outline when you need to. As you go through Chapter 8, start by reading about outlines, learning how to outline a reading, and what you're going to figure out, I think, very quickly is that what's difficult about outlining a reading is differentiating the types of support in the reading. Figuring out the main idea is not particularly difficult, but what's hard is figuring out, so what are the major supporting points and what are the details that back up those major supporting points. Keep in mind that something like a statistic or a quote, those things will always be minor details. They're going to be things that are used as evidence for larger points. And those larger points are often the major supporting details that are used to back up the thesis statement. So identifying topic sentences, supporting details, minor supporting details is all part of writing an outline. Once you can do that, and you'll see here in Stanley's annotated paragraph on page 160, an example of that, you can use your outline to write a summary of whatever you have just outlined. Excuse me. As you work through Chapter 8, do practice 1, check the answer keys in Brightspace, and then do practice 2 to see if you can figure out how you would create an outline for the reading specified here. As a writer, it is super important to be able to move from pre-writing to outlining. You know, in your pre-writing, you're going to come up with a ton of ideas. How you organize those ideas is super important. So what we're focusing on in Chapter 8 is how to move from all those thoughts into creating an organized outline for a writing task that you're going to be creating. A graphic organizer is very much like an outline. In fact, it's really just an outline in a graphic form. So you can see that by using a flowchart kind of organizer, the main idea, Craigslist is a resource that is popular and easy to use, is at the very top of the flowchart. The 3 major supporting points follow, and then the points that support those 3 major supporting points follow. So creating a visual map or a graphic organizer is not hard, and for some people who are more visual in their orientation, this is a great way to do some planning. Complete practice 4 when you feel confident, and then check your answers on Brightspace. The final part of this chapter presents using quotation marks and italics. When you use a source, when you refer to a poem or a short story or an article or a book or anything like that, you're going to have to make a choice. Do I put it in quotation marks or do I put it in italics? Italics and underlining mean the same thing. Complete the exercise that follows to see if you've mastered how to use quotation marks and italics. If you want to test your reading comprehension, read "Do you want a job or a career" at the end of the chapter and check your answers in Brightspace. This week's minor writing assignment is going to ask you to create an outline and a one-paragraph summary. As you do so, refer to this chapter for the guidelines that will help you create those things. You'll be posting them for a minor grade at the end of the week. Hope this helped.